I'm Igor and this is the List Building Lifestyle, a podcast for those who want to build a large profitable email list and make six figures from anywhere in the world. If you would like to get rich by building a large email list while helping people, this podcast is for you. I also invite you to attend a free web class I'm conducting this week to find out how I built a list of 4,331,656 email subscribers at a profit. Secure your free seat at Igor.cx. Attend this free workshop to discover an easy way to get 50 to 500 new email leads per day on complete autopilot without losing tons of money. Just go to Igor.cx to attend this free web class. And now, once again, it's time to claim your list building lifestyle. Welcome back to another edition of the List Building Lifestyle with your host, Igor. We are privileged. We live in peaceful times. We conquered most known diseases, and the ones still unbeaten have been weakened and slowed down. We're fighting hunger and water shortages. We don't have to chase or grow our food. Most of the civilized world has a roof over their head and food on the table. And most importantly, we've figured out a way to make money from home while helping other people. We created an easy way to share information and connect people from the furthest corners of the world with each other using the internet. Our dynamic progress as internet marketers and as a species in general has occurred as a result of standing on the shoulders of giants who came before us. It's mostly thanks to people who figured out how to successfully market their products and services and then made it their life's mission to educate others. As a result, we have learned to generate profits we never thought possible while having fun and helping people. My guest today is a direct response giant on whose shoulders we stand. He's widely referred to as the guru by today's most respected internet marketers such as Ryan Dice, Mike Koenigs, Matt Basak, and Russell Brunson. He's the author of the direct response bestseller, Outrageous Advertising That's Outrageously Successful. Recently, he has also written outrageous multi-step marketing campaigns and is now working on the sequel. My guest is the epitome of the three elephants that hold the direct response marketing universe on their shoulders. My guest is none other than Bill Glazer. Bill, welcome to the List Building Lifestyle.
Thank you very much for inviting me, and I'm looking forward to our conversation.
Same here. And, the first thing that I was always curious about as somebody who's been following you, reading your books, watching you speak on stage, talk about productivity, talk about marketing, is, you come from a very interesting background. You were selling men's clothing in Baltimore, but you ended up turning your store around, building a whole national, I think, franchise chain, and eventually sold that. But basically, you started out in a very boring business. So how did you end up, becoming this marketing genius?
Well, first of all, my father would not call it a boring business, okay? Because what happened with me is I went to college, okay? And my father had a menswear business, and he asked me to actually go there and apply and to work there. And I built a very nice business, okay? But I knew that I really could be a much better business, but I just didn't really know how I could find that thing. And actually, I worked for my father for 20 years, okay? And after 20 years, another menswear guy said to me, who was a good friend of mine, said to me, Bill, because I was in Baltimore, Maryland, and my friend was in Philadelphia, he said to me, Bill, he says, why don't you come on over for a day? And there's this big event that's going to be there, and all of the most special people are like Zig Ziglar, people like that will be there. And why don't you just come there? We'll listen, okay, what he says. And actually, I went there, and then we were there, and it started at 9 a.m. in the morning and 5 p.m. at night. And at 5 p.m., at that point, there was probably 10,000 attendees there. And then at the end of at 5 p.m., this older guy gets up. Everybody says to him, listen, if you guys want to leave now, you can go leave now, but it's going to be really hard for you to get to your cars because there's so many cars around. So if we want to, I'll mention to you another presentation, and it's a guy that's really a marketing guy, and you could just listen to what he says, and hopefully if you try to build your business, this is a smart thing to do. So I listened to this guy. I never heard of his name before, but I found out that his name was Dan Kennedy, okay? And I stayed, okay? So of the 10,000 people, it was probably maybe 3,000 of them that stayed. And at the very end, Dan Kennedy was nice enough to sell me a product.
Nice
And the product was actually magnetic marketing, okay? And at that time, that product was $197, which is very inexpensive. Now it's sold for much more, as it should be, by the way. And I bought it for $197, and I just couldn't wait to hear more about it, which I did. And I started using that in my business to use his type of marketing in order to eventually build my father's business. So we eventually were able to sell that business, and then I could get out of it because at the same time, Dan Kennedy, I met him after that. This was about a year after that. And he said to me, Bill, he says, you're doing so well with your menswear stores. You should be teaching other menswear stores how to build their business as well. And he says, and I'll help you do that. Plus, I'll let you join his Platinum Mastermind group, which I did. And at that point, I won't tell you how much that cost, but it was a lot of money for somebody who had a menswear store to get involved with that, which I paid the money for that. And then from there, I built it into a very large business. Because at some point, Dan came to me about 5 years after that, said to me, Bill, you're doing so great. I'd like to sell you my business. So I bought his business. And then I said to Dan, the only thing I ask of you, I'll be more than happy to pay you the money that you're asking for it, okay? I'm not allowed to tell you how much I paid him, but I did pay him. And I said, he said to me, Bill, I'll be happy to do it, but I want to do it with you, Dan. So I'll pay you for it, but I still want you to be involved. So we created a business at that time. It was called Glazer-Kennedy Inner Circle, or a lot of people probably have heard of it as GKIC. And eventually I built that business, and I sold that business to a private equity company. And at that point, I just kept on, working with other clients after that and building their business, okay? And some of those people I actually have mentioned to you a little bit later on in the podcast. But my point is, I went from a menswear guy becoming a really large marketing business in order to help so many people to grow their businesses.
Yeah, that's really an incredible journey. I first came across GKIC about 2 years into my marketing journey, and I signed up for one of your famous get 2 months free offers. So you get like an outrageous gift with that. Like I think it was worth like $2,000. So it was the only physical thing I signed up for, I think, at the time, which was to me was weird. Like paying for a piece of paper that comes in the mail. To me, that was a very ludicrous idea, but I was in because obviously all roads lead to Rome. And, you could track pretty much everyone's success back to you and Dan. Frank Kern spoke a lot about that. Russell Brunson was always open about that fact. And so many people always link back to you as their go-to source for marketing advice, especially in their most difficult times. Which is amazing. So I'm really happy that you succeed. I'm really happy you sold the menswear business, and I'm really happy you went into business with Dan Kennedy because that had tremendous influence on my success. And the list builders will attest. The amount of times I mentioned GKIC over the years on the podcast is just a lot. Let's just put it this way, a lot. So let's then talk marketing. So you're the outrageous marketing guy. You create outrageous marketing campaigns that are outrageously successful. You've consulted and worked with some of the biggest firms around. So what makes an outrageous marketing campaign? I guess maybe you can give us an example of the most outrageous marketing campaign you've ever created.
Well, first of all, I like the fact that you're talking about the fact that it's an outrageous campaign, because a lot of people mention the fact that people have great campaigns. But from my perspective, campaigns can work, but I really love the fact that the things are outrageous campaigns. So I actually call it an outrageous campaign. And the first great outrageous campaign that I created, which is one that I think, Igor, you'll be surprised, was I actually wrote a 5-page sales letter, handwritten on yellow legal pad, that actually I mailed it out for people that bought clothes from me, okay? And at that point, I had 52,000 clients of mine that actually came to my menswear store, and they were buying suits and shirts and ties and things like that. And I wrote the 5-page sales letter, okay? And when I did that, it was when I mailed it out to people, and it was by a thing called mail. Okay, it was real mail. Okay.
Yeah, we don't use that stuff on the internet.
Right. Well, because I'll tell you how we moved it from there to online, by the way. But when I used that, we had so many people that came, we couldn't get everybody into our business. Okay, people came in, they couldn't even get in because there was so many people coming. And the biggest part about that whole thing was that the reason people came back was because the 5-page sales letter was an outrageous letter, okay? And at the very end, on the 5th page, okay, I gave people 4 shameless bribe coupons on there, okay? And as I wrote the letter, I would keep teasing people on each page what was at the 5th page, okay? And I told a little bit about the bonuses that are waiting for them, but I didn't tell them till they actually gave there. Of course, a lot of people would go to page 5 right away, but that's okay. Have people to read the whole thing, and then they saw these great bonuses and they came in. And the reason I used that one of the best outrageous campaigns I've ever created myself is because I definitely have met created everything I do now is outrageous campaigns, okay? And so, I mean, now people who've seen my 5-page letter, a lot of them now use that same kind of thing online, okay? They send out emails that look like that way. They put it on their websites that look that way. I mean, the handwritten sales letters like that. And people still use it a lot for their own businesses. And so it started with sending out a regular mail letter, okay? And then it moved to people who've used it so many ways. And actually, if you don't mind, and if you have enough time, I would love to tell you about the 7 steps that I actually use now in order to understand this whole process of outrageous campaigns. So do you have time for this?
Absolutely, yeah. My day is wide open for you, my friend. I'm good. I'm taking notes.
Okay, and that's good because listen, before I even tell you that, one of the things that I really like is I like the fact that I can help people to grow their business, okay? And so I'm glad that you give me a little bit more time to explain to people about what I call the 7 steps to apply outrageous to any business at all. Number 1 step is the fact that you have to understand that everything you do to advertise and market your business should be outrageous. So that's the first thing. It should be outrageous. Somebody would see anything people, any kind of campaign they use, and people stop and look at it and say to themselves, gee, I want to find out more about it. So that's step number 1. Step number 2 is understand that you are not your customer. And this is so important, step number 2. A lot of people could look at a campaign and say to themselves, I would never buy that way, okay? But it's not about you, that if you own your business, it's about your customer. And your customer would actually say to themselves, gee, I want to buy from you, okay? So even if you see some kind of outrageous ad or something like that, and people look at it and say, gee, I would never do that. I would never buy something like that. It's not about you who own your business. It's really the customer, okay? So that's step number 2. Step number 3 is you want to make sure to train your brain to look for ideas in obvious places. And that's a key word, is obvious places, okay? So a lot of times people actually will go to an event now, okay? Maybe it's a marketing event, okay? I know a lot of people now are doing things actually online events, which is called like virtual summit and things like that. And on that place, you'll see things that way, and you'll be able to see things that are sort of unusual, and people should be using that in their own business. So that's obvious places that people will actually see outrageous ideas. Step number 4 is you want to train your brain to look for ideas in unobvious places. And that's a key word, unobvious places. So like I know a lot of times when my bride, that's my wife, bride, I always tell her bride because we've been married for 41 years, so she loves the fact that I still call her bride, okay, is the fact that we'll go away, we'll go to a nice country or something like that. And just when you're walking around, you see some unusual things, and I take a photo of it, okay? And on that photo, I always use that photos of things that are just things happen to use it in my campaigns. And so people could stop and look at it and they say to themselves, I'm like, my goodness, I got to find out more about this. This is Bill that's walking around on top of like a big, whatever, big car or something like that, and sitting up front or something like that. And we take a photo of that, and I talk about where I was, and then I tell them, when I did that, I was thinking about this. So this is something that you want to get involved with yourself. So that's step number 4. Step number 5 is study what's working outside your industry and S&D it. Now, there's 2 key words of that step number 5, okay? One of the fact is they're working outside your industry. So let's say, and again, I don't know who's listening to this right now, but let's say somebody's a dentist, okay? And a dentist is using a campaign to get people to come back to his office, okay? And I'll just use that as one example. Doesn't matter what the industry is, but you can use it in somebody other's business to figure out how to use it in your own business. So never think in terms of the fact that I just want to get a great campaign. So let's say when I was a dentist, okay, again, I'm used to the fact that I was a dentist, okay? I mean, no, I'm in menswear. I want to own my menswear business, okay? I didn't want to look at what other menswear businesses were doing because I knew that stuff wasn't working. Their businesses weren't great. I was the one that was creating great stuff. So you should be looking at what other people are doing in their business and figure out how to use it in their business. And then the last part of that, step number 6, is S&D it. Now, I don't know if everybody understands this word, S&D, okay? And actually, the reason that created that word was written by this guy that was created by this person whose name is Bill Glazer. Because I was the one that created that whole thing called S&D. So S&D is swipe and deploy. And people call it all the time. It's called a S&D. It's swipe and deploy. So if you see something that's working in any business, you want to swipe and deploy it in your own business. So that's still part. So you can go to any kind of industry at all, and you can swipe and deploy it for your own business. Step 6 is everything can be outrageous. Everyone can be outrageous, including you, okay? So that's a key part of this whole thing. So whenever I was creating all these campaigns, I always made myself look like I was outrageous. I was crazy looking. And people should be looking the same way. So make yourself look unusual. Make yourself look what I would actually call outrageous in all your campaigns, because people will stop and they want to find out more about what you're saying to them by just, if you run that business, they want you to look unusual. And even if it's not you, that's that person. If you're getting somebody that you have hired, somebody to actually create your campaigns, and you have photos of them, make their things look unusual. Don't look them like they're just like, I don't want to be involved with this. Make them look crazy, okay? And if you make them look crazy, people will really be happy about being involved in, and they want to find out more about it. And then the last step of this, and again, people will be a little bit surprised what I'm about to say, but step number 7 is outrageous advertising is fun, and your business can be fun. To run your business can be fun. So many people, I always have this all the time when I have clients of mine or people who are members of my mastermind groups, okay, I would always tell them, listen, you have this business, you're trying to get more money, but you're just not enjoying yourself. And one of the things you want to actually, if you can make things look outrageous, even anywhere in your business at all, it will be much more fun, and you're enjoying yourself. And if you enjoy yourself, you'll just like the fact that you're getting more money for your business. So those are the 7 steps, and that's the reason why I use this word outrageous so much, and how many different ways you can use it. You can use it everywhere that you want to use it, and people will say to themselves, gee, I want to buy your product.
Well, it definitely makes you stand out, that's for sure. I mean, whether you choose to label it as outrageous or not, I mean, some people may have like different feelings or translations to the word, but one thing that stands out for me is that you strive to be unique while at the same time not forgetting to model after what works. So what I would like to do, I would like to go over the 7 rules one more time just to make sure they sync, and perhaps share with you the way I understand them. So the first one being is be outrageous. which is a reminder that everything you do when it comes to marketing should be outrageous, different, unique. You should always try to stand out, and that should be one of the primary goals of your marketing campaign. The moment you create a campaign that's boring and mundane and gray, I mean, you probably won't make a lot of money. Just like Gary Halbert used to say, you can't bore anyone into buying from you. The second rule is you're not your customer. That's actually something that it took me about 4.5 years to learn that rule. I always try to sell to people the way I would want to be sold to. But that didn't work nearly as well as just giving the market what it wants. So you're not your customer is a huge one, and I think the more intelligent the person is in terms of like their IQ, the more they need to pay attention to this particular rule, because we tend to judge other people based on ourselves, and if somebody's like super intelligent, like 150 IQ, they typically have a hard time selling to people, because it requires for them to sort of be able to look at the world through the eyes of people who are less intelligent than they are, which again is very, very difficult. For example, when you write copy, you have to write it as if you're writing for like a 7-year-old, because the average reading level is like grade 1 or grade 2 reading level. And again, that's a huge rule for success in marketing. Now, the third one is you want to train your brain to look for inspiration or for just ads and pretty much anything that can help you with your business in obvious places, because a lot of times you can see that an inspiration, it's not hiding anywhere, it's right there, but people try to overcomplicate it. Now, at the same time, the rule number 4 is look for the unobvious places as well. Try to look deeper into things. Funnel hack people, look into their backend. Look into pretty much question everything they do and try to find out a reason why they say certain things, why they do certain things, why they get certain things in the mail, and on and on and on. Rule number 5 is study what works outside your industry. This is a huge one, huge. There's so many companies out there who succeeded only as a result of tapping inspiration from outside of their own industry. For example, FedEx, which is a mailing industry, right, or getting stuff to places industry, was inspired by the overnight bank concept or overnight check concept from the banking industry. So there's like a whole business that's been built around a concept from a different industry. And the same thing is true, I think, about fast food joints who introduced the drive-through concept. Same thing, it actually originated in the banking industry and not in the food industry. So that's huge. And of course, always remember the words S&D, which stand for swipe and deploy. But in our market, in the internet marketing space, trust me, Bill, there's no shortage of swipe and deploy. People just tend to swipe. I've actually caught people and sued people for stealing like my entire websites with my own images, with everything, like just copy and paste. It was ridiculous. So definitely don't just copy and paste, but get inspired by other people's marketing and swipe and deploy in an ethical way, right? Get inspired, don't steal it. Rule number 6 is everything and everyone can be outrageous. So this is, I would say, the mindset you need to apply to everything you do, because if you don't believe you can be outrageous, you will never be, right? Whatever you feel or think or believe in, typically, you will become the self-fulfilling prophecy for that. So first and foremost, believe that everything and everyone can be outrageous. And number 7, outrageous advertising or outrageous businesses are fun, which is a huge part, according to you, Bill, of what makes this such a great business to run or such great marketing campaigns to create, because it is fun. And if it's not fun, even if you're making money, you're almost dying inside. So you want to make sure your business is always fun. So not only you're the one having fun, but your customers are having fun, and maybe the people who may be interested in buying your business, look at it as a fun business and want to, participate in it as well. Yo, it's Igor. If you're loving the content, hop on over to listbuildinglifestyleshow.com for more free training and a free transcript of this episode. Oh, and I'd really appreciate if you logged into iTunes and rated the show. It really helps. Thanks. So these are the 7 rules, the 7 outrageous rules to creating outrageous marketing campaigns by Bill Glazer. And my next question.
Before we can finish that, can I make one comment?
Absolutely,
Okay.
Yes.
And it's a really important for everybody that's listening to this, okay? So you just went those 7 steps, okay? And what happened you became a great student yourself, okay? And by just people understanding these 7 steps, you studied it, and you learned about new ways to doing it for your own business, okay? And what I love about what you just said to me is, number one, you became a student. And actually, listen, even though I've been the marketing guy for so many years, I'm still learning new things, okay? And the fact that you're still learning things is great. And number two, what I love the fact is, now you're such a good student, you're now teaching other people. So again, I say to you, I want to say thank you for actually doing what you just said. And I thank you for actually the fact that you're creating a great business for your own business, and you'll be able to teach other business how to grow their business as well.
Yes, and that, first up, thank you very much. It means a lot coming from you. And that was the primary purpose behind creating the list building lifestyle, because so many people out there, they approach us for traffic and help with their marketing, but they don't understand what the hell they're doing. So I figured it's just easier overall and creates a better place for everybody, a better world, better marketplace for everybody if people know how to market. It just overall becomes a much easier job for everybody, to make money, and overall a much better place. So with that in mind, I want to pick your brain about one more thing. So in my business, when an offer isn't working, or when a campaign isn't performing, the two things I look at are headline and an offer, right? So headline that leads into the offer, and the offer itself. Now, we've had plenty of discussions about headlines on the show. Headlines, subject lines, you name it. But few about offers. And I think it's fundamentally important for people to grasp what makes an outrageously profitable offer. So perhaps you could share your thoughts from your experience on what are some of the criteria, or what are some of the components to an outrageously profitable proposition. So
recently, I wrote a book, okay? And then after that book, I actually had 49 campaigns, 49 marketers who sent me their campaigns, okay? And when they sent me their campaigns, I actually placed them into my book. And I also had 28 of them actually came and spoke at my live event after the book, okay? And when people started sending me over their campaigns for me to look at, to place there, I really took them to a level that I wanted to make sure those campaigns were great. So I had them send me over all the information, and I put them into each one would be a chapter in there, okay? And I told them that I want to make sure those campaigns really work, okay? So basically what I like to tell you is the 5 steps that I use to make sure that every one of those campaigns were outrageous campaigns. So here are the 5 steps that I took up. The first one is, I told them the title of every one of those campaigns were outrageous. So I used the word outrageous in every title in there. So and when they sent the information to me, they knew it was outrageous, but they didn't know, they weren't clear that it was outrageous. So I made sure in every title that I put the word outrageous in there. Then the next thing I put in there is all the media that they use. And that's the reason why it works so well. It's a multi-step media, okay? It's not just a one step, it's multi-step. So I put all the media in those campaigns, okay? The next thing is, I told them the steps of the campaign. So with all the media, what happens first? What is an email? Is it an email? Or is it maybe somebody just getting on the phone and talking to somebody? Or whatever, somebody is then getting them to a website. Whatever it is, I taught them all the steps, because people need to know the steps. Now, number 4 might be the most important thing that I made sure of every one of those things in there. I actually told them what is the results they got, the results from their campaign. Because the truth of the matter is, people don't want to hear about other campaigns if it doesn't work, okay? So I actually made them to tell me the results that they got, because nobody wants to get a campaign where it's not working. So I made people tell them exactly what they could actually use it in their campaign, so other people could see their results and say, gee, if there's somebody who's creating this $1 million for this, yeah, I definitely want to figure out how I could use it myself, okay? And which is now number 5. And number 5 is so key. And in every campaign, I place it on there, which is what makes this a great campaign to model it for your own business, okay? So when I looked at the 49 campaigns that are in there, I would tell you right now on that my last book and at my live event, I would say about 90% of them, anybody could use it in their own business. And there was a couple of 10% of them that wouldn't work in every business, but it would work in most of their businesses. So I showed them exactly how somebody could use these campaigns in their own business. And it was at the end of every campaign and every chapter of the book and at the live event. So that was exactly what I did. And it's so important what I just said to people right now, because you don't want to find out what other people are doing that doesn't work for you. I showed people exactly what it was, the steps you take to it, and how it could work for your own business. And if you want to, I could give you a couple examples of them. I don't know how much time we have, but I'd be glad to give you a couple of the other people that sent me their campaigns that I placed in my book, and also that they spoke at my live event.
Well, first, I would love to do that. I think we're a little bit short on time at this point because we still need to talk about one more very, very important thing. But I would prefer for our listeners to actually find out all 49 of those campaigns on their own, which we're going to touch on in just a second. First, though, I want to kind of share my take on what I felt made this an outrageous offer and so outrageously profitable offer, if you will. First off, so you built up the actual people who were sharing. I mean, you not necessarily needed to build them up because a lot of them are marketing celebrities. I mean, let's be honest for a sec here. Yannick Silver, Mike Koenigs, Russell Brunson, Ryan Dice, these people don't need any introductions. If you're into marketing or business or direct response, obviously people probably know who they are. Not to mention that the whole thing is being run by you, and that comes in with a pre-existing authority in and of itself. So that was really, really big for that campaign. The other thing you've done is you translated these campaigns into monetary value by getting all these people who share the campaigns to also share their results, which is always great because then it allows someone like me who buys those campaigns say, okay, the potential is right here, right? And this is something coming from the real world. Another thing you've done, you made it clear that all of these campaigns, or maybe 95% of these campaigns, are universally applicable, regardless of the business you're in. Because there's this huge objection when it comes to helping small businesses grow, and the objection is, my business is different. My business is unique. My business is not like other businesses. My business has unique sets of challenges and opportunities you have no idea about. So obviously, making sure that whoever lands on that sales page understands that these are universally applicable campaigns eliminates that huge, sometimes critical objection. And another thing, of course, is you had a very unique product, because no one else put all these people together in one room for 2 days, getting them to share some of their most profitable campaigns of that year. I mean, that's just not something, it's not a commodity, right? It's not like coffee or sugar or, oil. Like, you can't get it just by walking into a store. This is a very unique product with a unique proposition. And also the price was kind of, ridiculous. I mean, it was only $397. So, I mean, that's just crazy. So overall, I think all of these have contributed to, in addition to what you've mentioned, to the creation of this campaign, which, kind of goes to show you that there's some thinking that goes into creating an outrageously profitable campaign, and there are rules you can follow to make your campaigns outrageously profitable as well.
Yeah, so that's exactly what I mean. Listen, I will tell you, when you were thinking about the fact why I made it so inexpensive, okay? I mean, I made it inexpensive for a couple reasons. Number one is a lot of these people that have sent their campaigns, and like a couple of you mentioned, like Yannick Silver, Russell, Ryan, even Matt Basak, that I know a lot of people know Matt Basak, and on and on. These were guys that were they were in my own mastermind group, for many years. A lot of them for like 8 years, and I helped them to grow their business. Okay, although when businesses keep growing, it's not the fact that I actually taught them how to do stuff. I always tell them I'm so proud of these guys, how much they built such a business, because I love the fact that I would be able to help people to grow their business. So that's number one. Okay, I mentioned. So So that was one of the main reasons I got people to be able to send me campaigns and also speak at my live event, is because, you know, they would always say to me, Bill, I want to thank you for helping me. And then I always tell them, it's not about me helping you. I just like the fact that you're building great businesses. And then the other thing is, I mean, a lot of people have heard out, I don't know if people know this or not, but about 2.5 years ago, I had a health issue myself, okay? And I actually had a stroke myself, okay? And that was one of the main reasons why I wanted to write this book. And I also wanted to actually do a live event, was because I wanted to get back to a point where I could create a great book, okay, and have a live event and have some really strong friends of mine to be involved with this whole thing, okay? So again, yes, I was able to get, you know, all these people to come to my event that are really some of the higher levels of marketing guys. But at the same time, I had some regular marketing people that all came in as well. And a lot of people love the fact they helped me because I wanted to get back healthy again so I could help my own back to where I'll be at again. So when I did that, I didn't want to charge a lot of money. So again, the book was $25. People to come to the event was, you know, about $397, and then I recorded it, and I'm now available for other people for just $397, and they could hear all of these campaigns that are amazing of it, and also they get a copy of the, when you get a copy of the book online, there's a copy of the book that's on there as well. So that's the reason why I did it. And again, when I wrote my first book, which was probably 10 years ago, that was called Outrageous Advertising. That's Outrageous Successful. And there, when I sold the book and I had a live event afterwards, I gave a lot of money to the Junior Achievement Group, okay, which is to help young people. But after I had a stroke, I wanted to find an area that I could give some money to help other people who have had a stroke, okay? And so now I give all the money for everybody who purchased the recording for $397. I give all the profits to the Veterans Affairs Foundation in Pittsburgh to help other people who have had a stroke to get them back, because I was able to find somebody to help me to get back. So I want to give other people to get back. So that's what I pretty much have done that. So I hope that answers your question about what actually I'm now making available to other people, which is the recordings of my live event.
Yes, and that was the final thing I wanted to bring out, and thank you for making it so easy. Basically, on this call, we've talked about creating outrageous marketing campaigns, and there's no better way of learning how to do it than actually studying outrageous, successful, profitable marketing campaigns. Now, the problem is that you may see advertising out there. You may log on to youtube.com and watch a funny cat video and get interrupted by an ad. You may get on your Facebook feed and get an ad there. You may get an ad in your email. But the problem is you don't know which campaigns that you're seeing and participating in are profitable and which are not, which is where Bill comes in, because Bill knows anyone who's capable of creating super profitable stuff, including some of the biggest names in internet marketing today, like Matt Basak, Russell Brunson, Ryan Deiss, Mike Koenigs. I mean, so many people that you and I consider to be gurus. These guys call Bill the guru. So when Bill calls them up and says, hey, Ryan, can you share like a really profitable campaign you ran this year? Or, hey, Russell, yeah, I heard you launched a new book. Can you share the results of that, product launch and, how much you made, etc.? Obviously, there's no resistance there. And these guys come out and just share what they wouldn't otherwise share. And as a result, Bill takes all that, puts it on tape, and then offers it to you alongside other 37 or 38 superstars who create marketing campaigns, and offers that for just one-time $397. Now, I sincerely believe that for anyone who wants to become a super affiliate or a super affiliate or a super internet marketer, anyone who wants to make six figures or beyond while having fun in their internet marketing business, I sincerely believe with every fiber in my body, not buying this, not getting these recordings, not studying the campaigns by Ryan Deiss and Russell Brunson and Matt Basak. I mean, it just contradicts to the core value you bring to the table right now. If you want to make more money and have more fun and build an internet marketing business with profitable campaigns, you absolutely have to pick up a copy of this program. And here's what I suggest you do. I suggest you take 2 steps. First step, I suggest you go to igor.cx/Bill Glazer right now and pick up a copy of the recordings of the very first campaign summit. Okay, this is the Outrageous Campaign Summit. We're going to call it that way. So you go to igor.cx/Bill Glazer and pick up a copy of the campaign summit, the recordings, the Q&A calls, the transcripts and PDF format, everything for just one time $397. Okay, and start going through those. As you do, you also get an electronic copy of Bill's new book, The Outrageous Multi-Step Marketing Campaigns, which you otherwise can go and probably get on Amazon. But I highly recommend you get this program instead and just get it as a gift. In addition to that, Bill is very kind and he's giving you all access pass to the live stream of the next summit that's taking place in May. And you basically don't have to buy tickets for that. You don't have to buy access for that because you'll get that free if and when you go to igor.cx/Bill Glazer and pick up a copy of the previous year's Outrageous Marketing Summit. And in addition to that, I really want to make sure you understand just how much I believe that you should be getting this program right away. I want to give you a $1,200 value gift myself. So when you go to igor.cx/Bill Glazer right now, okay, at any time before the next summit, I will forward and pick up a copy of this program and forward your receipt to help@igorsolitz.com. I will also give you access, 1 full year free access to my private list building mastermind called List Building Lifestyle Club. You can check it out, listbuildinglifestyleclub.com. Okay, this is a mastermind that other people are paying right now $97 a month, which means for the year it's $1,200, and you get access to that mastermind for free when you pick up a copy of the recordings of the previous year's Outrageous Marketing Summit. And within the walls of this mastermind, I am first and foremost giving you access to 7 of my most profitable campaigns of 2018. Campaigns that netted me anywhere from 20 grand all the way up to 70 grand, promoting other people's products to my email list. I'm giving you the emails, the VSLs, the pages, everything. Another thing I'm giving you is a special report I put together called How to Bring a Dead List Back to Life. Okay, this is something you can't find anywhere else. In addition to that, you also get access to my inner circle, and once a month you'll be able to get on a live call with me where you can ask me any questions, get updates on what I'm working on, see into my most profitable campaigns at that time, get me to reveal my traffic sources, everything. So basically, I'm giving you access to all of that for free instead of charging you $1,200 a year. If and when you go to igor.cx/Bill Glazer and grab a copy of the recordings of the last year's Outrageous Marketing Summit for just $397. Now, just so you understand, all the profits made are going to charity. Bill is actually not pocketing a cent from the proceeds of the sales from that program. He's doing it 100% for charity. So you're not only improving your own life, you're not only improving your own customers' lives, but you're also helping other people by donating your money for their cause. So with that said, again, if you want this and if you want to get access to my mastermind for free, go to igor.cx/Bill Glazer right now, grab a copy and forward your receipt to help@igorsolitz.com. So Bill, one last question before I let you go. If you could go back in time, maybe say, 10, 15 years or so, what would you tell yourself when you were just getting started with direct response marketing?
Well, first of all, I love that question, by the way. Before I even do that, I want to thank you for everything that you're doing right now to actually, because the people that are getting this product and you're giving them all these other things that you put together for them, I mean, that's the type of person that you are. You actually want to help other people, which I love that, okay? And again, I appreciate the fact that I'll be able to help people at the Veterans Affairs Foundation. But again, back to your question, if I was starting away 20 years ago, 15 years ago, whatever it is, one of the things that I would always do then, as I continue to do now, I'm always looking for the next person, okay? And when I say the next person, really the next one that's going to be able to help you go to the next level of your business. So, I mean, a lot of the guys that were mentioned earlier, a lot of them guys were in my mastermind group, okay? And actually, I started out, I was the mastermind group of Dan Kennedy's group. I was in his mastermind group. So you're always looking for the right student. And you'll be a student and you always get the great teacher there to actually take you to the next level. And there's never left. There's always another teacher that's going to be after that, after that, after that. So always look for new ideas that you can use yourself to build to your own bigger business.
All right. So again, guys, you've been given the 7 rules to becoming outrageous with your marketing. You've been given the 5 steps to creating an outrageous marketing campaign. You also have the opportunity to get access to Russell Brunson's, Ryan Deiss's, Matt Pasek's, Mike Koenigsegg, Bill Glazer's, all of these super profitable campaigns that's already out there, been broken down and dissected for you just to model, again, not to steal, but to model in your business. And again, it's all for a very, very small fee, and it goes to charity as well. Plus, if you go to igorcx.com/Bill Glazer, you'll also get access for a full year to coaching with me, as well as access to my profitable campaigns, as well as the all access pass, the live stream of the next summit where I happen to be featured. I actually forgot to mention that. Oh my God. So I'm actually featured there sharing one of my profitable campaigns of the last 6 months. And obviously people like Ryan Deiss and Russell Brunson, Matt Pasek are also featured there again and again. Why? Because they keep creating more campaigns for you to study. So get access to all of that at igor.cx/Bill Glazer. We'll also include the link in the transcription for this episode at listbuildinglifestyleshow.com. And this was Bill Glazer, like I said in the introduction, the 3 elephants that hold the marketing universe right now on their shoulders, the forefather of direct response as far as I'm concerned, alongside with Dan Kennedy and other giants. So Bill, thank you so much for taking the time to sit down, to share your wisdom, and to answer all my pesky questions. This has been a true pleasure.
Thank you.
Until next time we chat, have a good one. Thank you for tuning in to the List Building Lifestyle. Get access to previous episodes, the transcript of today's show, and exclusive content at our website at listbuildinglifestyleshow.com. Also, don't forget to claim your free seat at the traffic workshop I'm conducting this week, where I'm showing how I built a list of 4,331,656 email subscribers without losing money, and how my clients are putting anywhere from 50 to 500 new leads per day on their list at a profit without any list building experience. Just go to igor.cx to claim your free seat now.